Four Knights of the Apocalypse has just released their next chapter, and this was just as, if not even more hype than chapter 64. Now before I get into this, let me just apologize for how I sounded in the previous chapter review. I was not feeling the best that day, so I was not like super enthusiastic as I would normally be for like a hype chapter like previously, so I just wanted to apologize for that. I'm feeling a whole lot better this week for this video, and trust me, you're going to be hearing a lot of stuff from me in this video, and a lot of stuff happened in this video, so I'm really happy to talk about it. But before all that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. It really does help. Also, don't forget to check out my Twitter and Instagram at @Weeb if you want to see me update for other videos or just see what I'm doing in my daily life, whatever it is. It's also good because sometimes YouTube does not notify you when videos are in fact released. It's honestly better if you do follow me on those platforms, as I do update you guys whenever a new video is released. Now let's hit that intro and hit on to chapter 65 of the Four Knights of the Apocalypse. So chapter 65 of the Four Knights of the Apocalypse, titled The Nightmare Anew. And I just like that this first page with the title is literally just the four knights reacting to the presence of Galland and Melascula. And I like how there is like actual shock as these incredibly powerful foes just appeared out of nowhere. But the first actual page of the chapter shows a dark aura emanating from the middle of Leonis, as Tristan is noticing what's going on. This is a demonic magic, but it's very big, and that he's never seen something so strong and ominous. Percival is kind of freaked out by this, and he stares at Gawain, and then grabs onto her hand. She's wondering what he's doing. He basically asks, "It's okay, I'm scared too." Now, I can't really tell, but it's mostly just Percival is like pretty scared from this like ominous dark aura. This might be bringing back flashbacks from the battle with Ironside when he got like super pissed and serious, and that literally scared the shit out of everybody. Now I don't know if it's on that, it's probably even on a grander scale than Ironside with this type of like ominous dark presence. And I don't even know if Gawain is actually like a little scared after shattered pride from the previous chapters, but she just says that don't bother with that, I'm just shaking with excitement. She grabs onto Percival and Tristan and says, "Let's go take it on. I gotta let off some steam." I was then cut to Melascula and Galland right after the manifestation. Galland literally like scratching himself, and I like that he literally has like these giant demon wings. Honestly, did not see Galland with his demon wings outside of like a flashback or something else going on. I like that he's using his demon wings here. And they're literally just looking around wondering what's going on. And the Leonis Knights are trying to affirm themselves to try and take down these Spirits of Chaos. And this whole conversation between Galland and Melascula is honestly something I am glad I did not make a video on for today, as they are honestly confirming what's going on, how much time has passed, as their memories are relatively hazy. Yes, they were brought here by King Arthur and were given extra power to take their revenge, but they don't really remember anything leading up to this point. Galland was in fact dead. But Melascula tells Galland that there's one thing for sure, that the Sins defeated them. And Galland even remembers that he fought Escanor and he was turned to stone, by his own commandment, mind you. And Melascula even remembers that Bon and Elizabeth basically kind of destroyed her and took away her power. And they don't even know how much time has passed, because we know it's been 16 years since the end of the Holy War. But they don't know how long it's been. Galland's been dead, and Melascula was like sealed in like a test tube with their powers removed and potentially had no real bearings on the passage of time. But they are honestly wondering if the Sins are even still alive at this point, because since they don't know how long it's been, they want them to be alive because they want to get the last words in, or their anger will never be calmed. Just then, the Holy Knights of Leonis lunge forth and strike Galland and Melascula as fast as they possibly can. And when they reach back, it's revealed that nothing happened. Melascula even has like a chaotic snake-like thing, similar to how she had like a darkness thing around her. Now it's just a chaos creature surrounding her, which basically like took the blows, and Galland has like no scratches on him. He then takes his hand and motions it and slashes through the ground with his attack, Battle Spellkata, which I have to say, with the way he motioned his hand, it'd be awesome if this is just like not gonna be like, hey, remember Escanor in the one form when he just motioned his hand and that was like a sword slice? What if I gave Galland something similar? I don't know if that's the case, but I just found that really cool. But yeah, it's basically like he split Leonis in half with that one attack. But he states, he did not harm a single soul. He did not kill anybody, as his master, King Arthur, told him not to, except for the other races and those that belong or support the 7 deadly sins or the 4 Knights of the Apocalypse, as the knight that is currently facing them, the leader of this crew of knights, we see a line on his face, and then it slowly just explodes out like he's been sliced in half from the inside out. And we then see more of the aftermath of the attack. The giant from like 10 chapters ago, where Meliodas and Percival were having their conversation, was cut in half and killed. One of the fairy merchants was cut in half and killed. So this is brutal. Galland literally motioned his hand in one fell swoop in a straight line and killed like any fairy or giant or whatever that was in that path, but made sure to go at the right moment and not kill any humans, but just wanted to flex his power. We then cut to Leona's castle as Meliodas is being notified of the situation, as he orders the Holy Knights to go out and rescue the citizens. And Meliodas notices that this is Galland and Melascula's power with chaotic power mixed in, noting that Arthur has resurrected them. And he's asking, why are they here? Are they just here to seek revenge? Are they attacking them directly? As he asks Gilthunder for his response and what he thinks. And we see a grown-up Gilthunder, and I have to say, looking cool. I'm liking the design. I'm not gonna lie, Gilthunder looking really cool. And I can't wait to see him in action, because I really feel like we're gonna have to see him fight in action right now. But he goes over the options because it's clearly a diversion, and they're wondering why use such strong attackers as decoys. And if they avoided striking the castle, it could be rescuing a prisoner, but to alter the state of the war, I wouldn't really see how it would affect that. And then something comes to mind. The real reason that they've been able to retain initiative over Camelot this entire time. And Meliodas notices it too. Bartra. They're after Bartra's vision. And I gotta note, in this image with Bartra in his bed, he's being fed soup. I think that's Elizabeth. That's gotta be Elizabeth. I mean, if Elizabeth is there, it makes sense if she was like one of the last lines of defense to protect Bartra, since she is technically his daughter. She does view him as her father, and I want to see Elizabeth. I really want to see her post-time skip because the light is shining on her and is obscuring her overall design. But with the white hair and the nice dress, I do feel like it is Elizabeth. Anyway, Meliodas goes off to protect Bartra, but Gilthunder notifies Meliodas that the enemy forces are in town. What about them? Only the 7 deadly sins can stop them, as Meliodas tells Gil there are others. I was then cut back to Galland and Melascula, wondering what they're going to do. Will Leonas actually hold up until the sins arrive? As then, Gawain teleports Percival and Tristan and herself in front of Galland and Melascula. And I like that every time Gawain uses a type of magic, whether it be absolute cancel from the perfect cube like 3 chapters ago, or right now with teleportation, that's the stuff that Merlin always does. So I would love it if it was revealed that she was like the child of Merlin, or like related to Merlin, or a student of Merlin, or whatever. I keep saying this, and it's a common theory, and in every single chapter, I'm like, this has to be true. This has to be some kind of connection with her and Arthur, and Merlin. I need to know. But anyway, this catches Galland and Melascula off guard, but then Galland squints and looks at Gawain, and notices that her magic power, he's noticed it before. It's the same as Escanor, the Lion's Sin of Pride, as we see a flashback image of Escanor. It is like flaming the one mode. Again, I never saw it, but this is just for our visual only. And he's wondering, who is she? So this 100% confirms that Gawain does have Sunshine. There was a possibility that her power was similar to Sunshine or some sort of offshoot, but no. This is Sunshine. And I'm curious to see how strong she's going to get. And more or less even confirms, yeah, she's got Escanor's power, but she ain't no Escanor. And Melascula even points to Galland out to look at Tristan. A mix of light and dark magic, just like them. Think back to Meliodas, the Dragon Sin of Wrath, the child of the Supreme Deity. So, if there was any real person that did not think that these characters were the children of other characters, this is confirming it. Percival's kind of stumped about what they're going to do. How are they going to fight them? Gawain, I see some sweat, a little nervous, but it's like, perfect way to let out some steam. And Tristan's like, how dare they resurrect such brutes? And coming in as the cool badass he is, Lancelot strolls up saying, you're going to pay for this, you garbage. Look at the disaster you made. As Melascula and Galland notice him. like really quick, he has the same like magic and presence as Bond, the Foxen of Greed, and Elaine, Queen of the Fairies. As they're wondering who they are, and Lancelot just says, "We are the four knights of the apocalypse," with the final chapter being all four of them assembled, ready to fight, saying that the Knights of Prophecy here to crush the forces of chaos. Ending the chapter. And I have to say, another hype chapter, and if this does in fact end up being like the arc that caps off the inevitable season 1 of the Four Knights of the Apocalypse, I'll be very happy, especially if we potentially get a good studio for this series. But yeah, this was a really hype chapter. We got the Four Knights assembling again relatively quickly, I might add. I mean, it's only been, like 4 chapters after their initial assembly. We got to see Adolf Guildthunder. Meliodas is going off to protect Bartra from the assassin that's on their way. I failed to notice that one panel when they realized that they were after Bartra's vision, but this assassin is heading their way to Bartra. So we're going to get the reveal of who this is and this potential traitor. We got Gawain's full-on confirmation that she does have sunshine, but to how much she can control it is still up in the air, as she was just instantly taken down by someone like Pelgard, due to the fact that she was just flailing around like crazy with her power, and Pelgard was really able to like take her down with little to no effort because he has more skill and experience. But I honestly think the standout of this chapter is the information that we get for Galland and melascula, because everyone was wondering, like, do they know what's going on? Have they met Arthur before? What the hell's going on? And the confirmation that these characters do in fact remember to the point up to their death for Galland's case, and melascula up to the point when she lost her powers after the confrontation with the Sins in that city, the city that she was controlling. So they want revenge against the Sins, and while they're at it, to kill the Four Knights of the Apocalypse for Arthur. So as expected, that is kind of their whole thing. But what I like is that this chapter really does show how much of a threat these characters are, just showing the precision of Galland's strike, cutting Leonis in half, not harming any of the humans, but harming the giants and fairies that were in that exact fighting range. And they literally were just like, let's just cause as much mayhem as possible. We can't kill the humans, but let's see if this kingdom will like stay up and running until the Sins arrive. And this gives us a nice sense of like power and, well, intimidation factor from these characters, because whenever a new series comes around, and if they ever like bring back old characters or old villains for the new generation to face off, they always tend to be like the same strength or even nerfed to an extent, to just be like a joke, to show how strong the next generation is. But here, this is a really nice escalation, because these characters are said to be on the level of the Sins, if not surpass the Sins eventually. So fighting off against characters that gave the Sins trouble initially, and giving them a huge power bonus with the power of chaos, to fight off against these next generation of powerful warriors that are prophesized to defeat King Arthur and potentially destroy the world, it makes a lot of sense for this to be the matchup that we're getting as the conclusion for this arc. We're going to see this traitor be revealed very soon. A favorite theory is that it's Jericho or Deathpierce. I'm leaning more towards Deathpierce, but the Jericho theory being her like being brainwashed into chaos, it does make sense, as we have no idea what's going on with her, and this could tie into Lancelot's whole thing with the Star-Shaped Visor Knight. Either way, I'm hoping relatively soon, I hope to make a video on chaos and how about like melascula and Galland's resurrection and Arthur in the future. I'm going to see how this plays out and if I have time to record those specific videos. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed this review. This is another really hype chapter, and I am really excited to see the matchup against these characters next week, as I predict it's probably going to be like a 2v1 type situation. It would be awesome if it was Percival and Lancelot versus, let's say, melascula, as melascula has a grudge against Bond and Elaine, so it would make sense for Bond's son to take on someone that wants to take down Bond, and Galland wants to take down Escanor, so he'll fight this person that seemingly has his magic, plus his former leader, Meliodas, his kid. So I think those are some good matchups, and I think that would actually be a really hype tag team type battle. But for now, that's the review, that's the video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. Leave your thoughts, opinions, and theories down below of the chapter and what will happen going forward. Who do you think the traitor is? What do you think the matchups will be against Galland and Melascula? How do you think Guild Thunder is going to play into this now that he's been revealed? Will we see more characters coming in? One favorite theory I have is that perhaps maybe Bond will come in and save the day at the end, coming in clutch as he tends to always do in the 7 Deadly Sins, that would be a really nice way to reintroduce him. But the 4 Knights getting their time to shine is one thing that I really want to see. And once again, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for updates on future videos. It really does help, as I do want to make more 4 Knights content, and seeing how much you guys love it really reinvigorates me to make more content for you guys in this series. Also, don't forget to check out my Patreon and my Ko-fi account if you guys want to support the channel more directly, as I do want to do more videos outside of chapter reviews, and any and all help would be very much appreciated. And with all that said and done, hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you all have an awesome day.